You here for the money?
I don't want the money. I want you to read this. I want your liver. Your lungs. His name was Dougie.
The film opens with a tense scene. Two armored guards from Forico security are transporting cash when suddenly a cement truck blocks their path. Armed gunmen pour out and surround the vehicle. The crew forces the guards outside at gunpoint and begins loading bags of money into their truck. But things go horribly wrong. Gunshots ring out, chaos erupts, and when the smoke clears, two guards and an innocent civilian lie dead on the street. 3 months later, we meet Patrick Hill, a quiet, cold-eyed man applying for a job at Forico Security. The manager, Terry, explains that Patrick will be replacing the guards killed in that brutal robbery, but first he needs to pass firearms qualification. During training with a guard nicknamed Bullet, Patrick barely scrapes by, meeting the minimum requirements. Despite his lackluster performance, he's hired and given the nickname H by his new co-workers. He meets the rest of the crew, including Hollow Bob and Boy Sweat Dave, and everyone seems friendly enough. His first few runs go smoothly without incident, but on H's second day on the job, everything changes. While riding with Dave, their truck is ambushed by armed robbers who communicate through walkie-talkies. They've taken Bullet hostage and order H to throw the money bags into their pickup truck. H complies, tossing bags one by one, but deliberately drops one. When a gunman steps out to retrieve it, H makes his move. In a flash, he draws his weapon and shoots the man dead with a headshot. Then, with terrifying precision and accuracy, he systematically guns down every single robber, moving like a trained killer. He chases the last man into a nearby building, corners him, and executes him without hesitation. Back at headquarters, Terry is furious about H's actions and wants him on desk duty. But the CEO, Blake Halls, sees things differently. He's impressed and thinks H should be promoted. H is called in to review security footage from the original robbery 3 months ago to see if he recognizes any of the gunmen from today's attack. As H watches the video, his eyes lock onto one particular gunman, but he tells the investigators nothing looks familiar. What H doesn't know is that 2 federal agents are watching him. They work for Agent King, who believes H will eventually lead them to the crew behind the first deadly heist. 3 months pass without incident. Then, during a routine run with Bullet, a motorcycle blocks their path. Armed men surround the truck and attach smoke devices to disorient them. Bullet is forced out first, but when H steps out and reveals his face, something incredible happens. The gunmen freeze, their faces showing instant recognition and fear. Without firing a single shot, they retreat and disappear. Back at Forico, Terry is completely baffled. Why would armed robbers run away just from seeing H's face? Blake silences Terry's questions and tells H to keep doing whatever he's doing, even hinting at giving him his own franchise. Later, Bullet confides in Boy Sweat Dave that there's something dark and dangerous about H, calling him a dark spirit. Now the film takes us back 5 months to reveal H's true identity and motivation. H is actually a powerful crime boss in London. His teenage son, Dougie, is visiting him in the States on holiday. H receives a call from Mike, his former criminal associate and the leader of the crew that fled from H earlier. Mike asks H for help with one last job, assuring him he won't be directly involved. H agrees to provide intel and drives with Dougie near the docks where the heist is planned, simply telling Mike which route the armored truck will take. While H and Dougie are getting food, the cement truck crew arrives to execute the robbery. Everything is going according to plan until one of the gunmen orders Dougie out of H's van. H sees what's happening and desperately runs toward his son, but a gunman with a distinctive scar near his eye makes a fatal decision. Fearing the boy has seen his face, he shoots Dougie multiple times, killing him instantly. When H tries to reach his son, the same gunman shoots H repeatedly, leaving him for dead. H survives but spends nearly 3 weeks in a coma. When he wakes, he's told his son is dead. His ex-wife Jane blames H entirely for Dougie's death, knowing his criminal lifestyle put their son in danger. Consumed by grief and rage, H meets with Mike and his crew. They all feel responsible for what happened and pledge to help H find the men who killed Dougie. The film then shifts perspective to show us the crew responsible for that first deadly robbery. They're a group of ex-military veterans from Afghanistan. Jackson, Carlos, Sam, Tom, Brad, and Jan, the scarred man who killed Dougie and shot H. These men feel abandoned and mistreated by the country they served, and they've turned to crime out of desperation and anger. Led by Jackson, they're planning something big, a robbery that will net them over $150 million. The job requires inside help, and we discover their insider is none other than Bullet. The Forico guard who trained H. Jackson and Tom meticulously plan every detail, though they're both concerned about Jan's unpredictable nature. Jackson assures them Jan will follow orders when it counts. Bullet turns off the security cameras and meets Jackson's crew in an abandoned building. They're wearing heavy tactical gear and bulletproof suits. After tying up H's hands to make it look convincing, Bullet lets them hijack his truck. The crew storms Forico headquarters, and initially, everything goes according to plan. Employees drop to the ground as ordered, but then a guard panics and hits the emergency alarm. All hell breaks loose. Bullets fly everywhere as Jackson's crew blows open the vault door and begins executing guards to eliminate witnesses. They're ruthlessly efficient, gunning down anyone who moves. One of their own men gets injured in the crossfire. Meanwhile, SWAT has been notified and is 8 minutes away. Police already block the entrance. H sees his opportunity. He grabs a gun from a fallen attacker, shoots him in the leg, then chokes him unconscious. Thinking quickly, H strips the body and puts on the bulletproof tactical gear. Disguised as one of the robbers, he approaches a crew member loading cash into their truck. H forces him to remove his helmet. When he sees it's not John, not his son's killer, H pulls the trigger without hesitation. As the crew drives away in the armored truck, H gets a clear look through the windshield. He locks eyes with John, the scarred man, and instantly recognizes him as his son's murderer. For a brief moment, the two men stare at each other, a silent promise of vengeance passing between them. The crew rams through the police barricade, smashing through 2 patrol cars. A massive chase ensues with SWAT teams and helicopters in pursuit. With only 5 minutes before the building is surrounded, they head for a secret underground tunnel system, unknown to the public. During the escape, Jackson is injured from a shot H landed earlier that grazed his neck. When they're forced to abandon the armored truck, Jan makes a calculated decision. He shoots Jackson dead, eliminating him from the split. Jan and Bullet load the money onto an elevator and descend into the tunnels. They transfer the bags to quad bikes and drive 3 miles through the underground network to a waiting car. When Bullet realizes Jan plans to take everything, he tries to kill him. Jan is faster, shooting Bullet in the head and leaving him dead in the tunnel. With hundreds of interconnected tunnels, the police can't cover them all in time. Jan escapes with all $150 million. Sometime later, his phone rings. Confused, he realizes the call is coming from inside one of the money bags. Jan reaches for the bag just as H emerges from the shadows behind him. H tosses Dougie's autopsy report onto the table. Then H raises his gun and kills him. H leaves the apartment, his revenge complete. Outside, Agent King is waiting. He confirms the job is done and that they'll recover the stolen money. H gets into a car with another associate and drives away into the night, his mission finally accomplished.